Art thou ready to do what we do best? That's right.
I'm not calling her Rey Skywalker, not even if there's a fire. I don't know why people are so harsh on the Rey Skywalker stuff, to be honest.
Wait, why are they Rey Skywalker? Why? Isn't she not a Skywalker?
So at the end of the movie, some person goes up to her that doesn't know who she is. The person says, "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm Rey." And then there's like a weird pause for like 5 seconds, and then she goes, "Rey Skywalker," even though she's a Palpatine. It's so bad.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you think about Rey Skywalker as a character? Honest opinion.
It's just the movies just didn't do her justice, really.
Yeah.
The first movie, she was great. The second movie, she was all right. And then I never watched the third one, so.
For good reason.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about Rey Skywalker, right? It's a mixture of what you had said already. So she did have potential. She's an amazing actor. Like, you know, separating Rey from Daisy Ridley, she's an amazing actor. She didn't play her role bad, but it's just like the story that was given to her, right? And especially the last movie, if you ever do get a chance to see the last movie didn't even do her justice even more. Because after the first movie, you're like, I could get behind Rey.
Right.
Before she was actually called Rey Skywalker, I can get behind it. Second movie, you're kind of just like, And then the third movie, you're just like, no. Like, absolutely not. I feel like the Star Wars fans progressively started to just not like Rey's character. And I don't think that's her fault. I just think that's how the story just went. And it did not help her to be known as a favorite character. Like, we love Anakin. We love Luke. All right? 2 Skywalkers right there. Then technically the third Skywalker, nobody likes because of how the story progressed.
Yeah, I think the whole Palpatine thing kind of fucked that up. And, like, if she was, like, a descendant of Luke, and it probably would have went better, even if the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have stuck with, oh, she's, you know, Luke's descendant, or, like, daughter, granddaughter, whatever the fuck the timeline is. If they would have went with something like that, or even Leia. If they would have went with something like that, I mean, it would have been awkward, again, with the whole brother-sister kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Or flirting thing, or whatever that they had going on in this movie. But if she was a descendant of Leia or Luke, it would have made sense for her to be a Skywalker than her just boating the name because she feels that's
what
who she is.
Yeah. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated it too.
Dope.
Oh, let's talk about this actually. James Mangold's Star Wars movie is about the dawn of the Force set before the Old Republic. You had sent me this on Instagram, and it says the movie by Logan and Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny director James Mangold will be a biblical epic. That's what he says. That tells a story about the dawning of the Force set 25,000 years before the Galactic Empire. 25,000 fucking
Yes,
years.
sir. Let's get some fucking old lore in there, man. Some fucking lore from the Old Republic games. Some lore from the fucking comics. Like, just make all this canon. Like, come on.
Just make it into like movies. Honestly, they could for the next 20 years just make movies off this.
Mm-hmm.
They literally can, because there's so much. If you're saying 25, you gotta think what they just said. 25,000 years before the Galactic Empire. How much fucking story is in 25,000 years?
Fucking lot.
Right? We're
But,
not
like,
even.
we could even see, like, how the old, you know, Jedi Order, you know, acted. How the old Sith acted. How, you know, the old Mandalorians acted. Like, all that. All these stories that are not technically canon can become canon. And we could see, you know, fan favorite characters that we've never seen on screen.
Honestly. And they could make so many miniseries out of this. They really could. You know what? I have a great idea. They should make this a miniseries. Call it Jedi. Literally, that is the name. You call it Jedi. And all it is the creating of the Jedi Order. Miniseries right there. 9 episodes. Boom. Disney, call me. They got the whole thing. You can call it Jedi, and then you can make the other one and just call it Sith. And it's another mini-series of how the Sith were created. You talk about the very first Sith and exactly how everything is planned out. And honestly, you can make another mini-series, like a 9-episode, about every single Sith before the Galactic Empire, every single Jedi Master before the Galactic Empire. And you could just do chapters of it. Just like how they're doing chapters on Mandalorian, you could do it with that. It would just make a whole lot of sense, but apparently they're getting us terrible stories that really don't matter, like Andor. Andor is the prime example of stories that don't matter anymore with a character.
Solo really didn't really matter. We didn't need a Solo movie.
Yeah, he just like Solo's story was already explained with the Luke Skywalker trilogy.
Right.
We know who Solo is. We don't need to further know more about Han Solo. I just feel like what the movie is going to explain and what it should explain is more so like, if you're going to be a Jedi, this is how we have it set up. These are the rules. This is how you get in. The same thing with the Sith. I feel like what would be really cool is that they show the very first like Jedi that kind of like falls out of the Jedi Order and then becomes a Sith, because I'm pretty sure the Anakin story, how it was explained, was that he was supposed to be the chosen one. You know, everybody said that he was supposed to bring balance to the Force, right? He still technically did, but he ends up falling out of the Jedi Order and then becomes a Sith. I feel like they can give another person that type of story and obviously make it a little bit better, have way better choreography and fight scenes, because you know those you were talking to me one time about the little mini movies that they had about those old Republic stuff, and they were just like slicing and dicing and stuff. I feel that they need to bring those types of fights.
Yeah.
Because there's the thing about Jedis is that they're so agile with their swords, and when you had watched the Rey versus Kylo fight in Rise of Skywalker, you could see just like how the skill gap was between Anakin and Obi-Wan and Rey and Kylo.
Yeah, like I was saying when I was watching it, it's like I feel like they try to choreograph a sword fight rather than a lightsaber fight. Like obviously with swords, there's more weight to them. There's more they're real. Like swords are real, lightsabers aren't. So technically with lightsabers, you can kind of just do whatever, but it has to like flow within the same realm that you would see. Yeah, it has to be consistent with other fights. So like when I saw the Rey and Kylo fight in Rise of Skywalker, I kind of noticed that it looked more like a sword fight. I guess they try to choreograph it, try to make it look more real-ish, I guess, and try to like make it more of like a grounded fight. But like it doesn't work when you've already established how lightsaber combat looks compared to what you tried to show in the last movie. And like I said, it looks like a sword fight. Now, if they had swords, it would look like a great fucking fight. But being that it's lightsabers, and lightsabers is technically supposed to be like really light because they're literally made up of light, it didn't make sense in the Star Wars universe.
It did not. Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 is not in active development, confirms Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy. We'll turn our attention to that again, maybe down the road.
No, I like the way it ended. I don't think they need a second season.
What would they even do?
I don't know.
I think they're just going to lead it up until Luke is grown. That's if they continue it.
Yeah, but that's kind of dumb.
But the thing is, though, with Ewan McGregor actually getting older, it makes sense if they wanted to do it. But as far as what Star Wars fans want, we don't care about that anymore.
Yeah,
I feel like the Obi-Wan Kenobi like spin-off series with, you know, after Order 66, that hype is kind of just done.
Yeah.
Nobody really
Now I wouldn't mind like live action in between, like, you know, Clone Wars and stuff. Seeing Obi-Wan and Anakin back, and then with Ahsoka as well.
Yeah.
But
it'd be a good way to like introduce, like, not introduce Ahsoka, because I'm pretty sure if they did that, it'd be after the series, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they go with that, then it'll make people fall in love with Ahsoka even more. And obviously, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor back on the screen together. Because with the Obi-Wan series, what sucked about it was that we barely got time with Hayden Christensen in it. And we barely got time with them two together in it anyways.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of the video, make sure that you hit that like button because it helps out so much, and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you guys love these kinds of videos and what else you want to see next.